let me introduce you to our next speaker. Kian Ha is coming from the medical appliance manufacturer Medel, and they have a very amazing and able translation and localization department. I know that because I've worked with them a little bit. And ladies and gentlemen, next speaker.
Thank you. My name is Aing, and I'd like to talk to you today about the terminology and also about pilot project at our company. The presentation is the only thing that separates us from the lunch, so I'm going to do it as possible. I'm from the company Medel. It's the abbreviation for medical electronics, or in German, Elektromedizinische Gerät GmbH. We are a leading company in implantable hearing solutions. Here in this picture, there is one of our products. We call it a hearing implant system, which consists of two parts: the audio processor outside and the implant inside. Our products are developed and manufactured at the headquarters in Innsbruck, Austria, and sent to more than 100 countries over the world. Basing on different techniques, we have developed different hearing implant systems. And as a member of the Vibrant Labeling team, together with other people on the team, we take care of the labeling for these two implant systems. We also coordinate the translation of the labeling in more than 30 languages. Since 2015, we have been working with memoQ. The software was brought together with a server and QTerm. We need QTerm because we'd like to put our whole terminology inside QTerm, where the terms are just imported after going through an approval process. And then QTerm shall be used by everyone for all purposes. That is the goal. But in order to reach the goal, there's still something to be done, like to do some more testing, to validate QTerm, as well as the approvals process, to build up a terminology group, and last but not least, to raise awareness, to persuade other people in the company about the profit of the terminology. So now QTerm is not using yet for the ongoing projects. Life goes on, new translators need to be made, and working as translation coordinator, we do face some challenges, like our terminologies are scattered in different lists, which exist in different formats, like Word files, Excel lists, and emails, something like that. And they are usually offline, so it makes it very difficult to use them for the ongoing projects. And they are termed duplicate and termed inconsistency too. The inconsistency can be found in different documents of one single product, like user manual, labels, marketing material, and website, and also between documents of the very same type. And all that might be quite confusing for the translator sometimes. It can cause inconsistent translation memory or translation itself, which is not very good for the image of a product or even of the company. And let's imagine that one product name was translated into two different words. And one was used for the import license, another one for the labels, product labels. And at the custom, if they compare those two documents, then you might have a problem there. The project coordination is sometimes quite extensive. In a typical situation, a document should be translated in more than 20 languages. And if just a word in the source file is not clear enough, then you receive many emails asking for clarification. and your decision shall be safe somehow for tracking purposes, because we are producing medical device, and everything must be documented. We believe that QTerm can help us to solve most of the problems. But before the day comes when the QTerm is ready, we'd like to think of some alternative solution. And it all began with the test. In order to test another software, we needed a list of about 70 terms in English, German, and Italian. And at the beginning, we think this might be very easy, because we have already a glossary in the intranet. So just pick up English and German term from there, put in a list, send to a reviewer for Italian. We have a very reliable one there, and she just needs to add Italian term in the list. However, after 2 weeks, the list is still undone. So when the deadline came, and we really needed the list, we must think something else. This time, we just open one manual in the memoQ, pick up English and German terms there. And because I know some words in Italian, pick up Italian terms too. Put all together in a term base, export it in a list, send it to the reviewer, and this time, she just needs to correct the imperfect, very imperfect term that I put there. Surprisingly, we received the final result just after 10 minutes. It's really the truth. So, quite amazed about this result, we have decided to go on to work a little more with term base, in the hope to find a solution there. It looked quite good for the term base at that time, because thanks to a very good advice, we have created one term base per department, which contains all the languages that we need, and is automatically attached to each translation project through the template. Besides, LSP, the reviewer, and the translator, and we are using the same server, so the term base is available for everyone. Another factor is that we have many good translations, which is made by a good LSP and checked by our reviewer. So term base may be the one. To go for term base, there are two main issues left: how to fit the term base, and then how to migrate everything to the QTerm at the end. To fit the term base, we came up with quite a good method, which consists of 2 steps. The first step, we must create the term entries in English and German. Just open the manual, go segment by segment, pick up the terms there. And every time when you finish one manual, we have to make a keyword check. And if one term causes too many unnecessary warnings, we just delete them. At the second step, the term entries will be enriched with terms in other languages by the reviewer. The translation of the very same document was sent to the reviewer, and they are told to have a look at the source text. Terms are marked blue there. In that case, they should have continued to look at the translation results and look for the blue box. And if on the right side the box is empty, they should copy the term in the translation and just put it there. And we told them to edit the term and not to create a new term entry, because by doing so, term in every languages will be grouped together in one term entry. And if you click at the blue box there, you can see every terms. It's quite practical, because if some translator or reviewers are unsure about one term, then they can have a look at the terms in other languages. Second issue, how to transfer to the QTerm. You have seen that our term base has the very same structure as the QTerm, which is very good. Besides, we try to keep a clear structure and strict structure in each term. In one term, you have the languages and the terms. You have a field for definition, but no field for common. So, I think, this is what I think. So if we have a real definition, we just put it there. But if we just have an additional information or instruction for some translator, then we add common, colon, definition, and then the text. So after that, when you export the term base to a list, inside the list you can very easily separate the text for definition from the text for the common. So at the end, when you import this list to the QTerm, those two different information will be imported in two different fields in QTerm. We have tested, and it's very easy indeed to transfer all the terms to the QTerm. Working with the term base has brought a lot of benefits. Many terms were added after quite a short time. And in the whole process, we have the control over the term base, because we are the one who tell what's a term and what's not. Because the reviewer just adds the term when they see a term, which is defined by us. And the term base is attached to our project through the template. So once the term is added, it is there. Can be seen by everyone. So we can make a consistency within one document and across many documents. Each term just needed to be added once, and it is adding up. So that after several projects, there's just a few terms left to be added, which means that there are less and less work for our reviewer. And in case the translation memories is unclean, like in this example, you can see that the temperature limit was translated in 3 different ways. Then, basing on the term, we can see that, okay, the third translation is correct. And memoQ made quite a good guess there, as you can see. There are also benefits that we didn't foresee before the project, like term base is replaced to document all the decision about terminology. Every time there is a discussion about term, any term, then the decision will be saved under comment, like I showed you before. So we don't need to rediscuss about the term in the future. Term base is also a great communication channel. The typical situation again, a word in the source file needs to be clarified. What we are doing now is just create a term out of it. And because it can be seen immediately by everyone knows what to do. And if someone just missed the information, then we just need to send them an email and say, please have a look at the term. That's it. No pain, no gain. We receive a lot of benefits. Are they coming without pain? And if there's a pain, are there painkillers? The first pain is very time consuming, I must say. Adding new term entries is quite fast, it's okay. But then when the terms are defined and now it's used by the translator, a translator can make a proposal. I found another term which is better. Then he has to send it to the LSP, who will forward it to us, and we will then contact our reviewer. And then the feedback from the reviewer will have to go the whole way back to the translator. So with so many partners involving in the process, it just takes time. But looking at the benefit that the term base bring, those two pains are totally variable. The biggest pain may be that if you have a lot of terms, you suddenly receive more warnings, more data, more cows than before. But don't worry, there's a remedy there, there's solutions. The first one is that choose your term wisely. Don't select terms which are too short or too generic, like wireless connectivity. You certainly receive some money for that. We were told to choose the setting fuzzy for matching and permissive for case sensitivity. But it seems that you should choose this setting just for English, our source text or source language. For other languages, you can try other settings. And the most powerful setting, I think, is this custom with the using of wildcard, like the pipe or the asterisk. Like in this example, you have a term, the term in Bulgarian has got a suffix in the translation, so you increase the warning there. But if you compare the term, you compare the word in the term base with the word which is used for the translation, then put a pipe at the end of the similar part, the warning will just disappear. The setting there will be changed from fuzzy or whatever to custom, and it's okay like that. If your term consisted of 2 words, and those 2 words get suffix in the translation, then you can put the pipe in both of them. It's going to work too. Sometimes we really have to use the setting exact. Once the authority told us that the word remote control must be translated as controlo remoto in Portuguese. We have created a term out of it right away and thought, okay, we are safe. But then we found out that once it was translated as controlo remoto, and we didn't receive any warning for that, also there. So they really have to use the setting exact so you can receive the warning on time. Yes. Sometimes we have to try different settings before we can find the appropriate one. Like in this example, we are informed that the cleaning brush must be translated into two words in Hungarian, because if you write it together, it's not so grammatically correct. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's what we are informed. So, of course, we made a term out of it and used setting fuzzy. If we have a forbidden term too, you receive warning. Even this warning that the forbidden term was used, even it's not true. So we remove the forbidden term, then you don't receive any warning when the forbidden term was used. If you use the setting exact, okay, then it's okay, you receive the warning when forbidden is used, but then when the term gets suffix, then you get the warning too. It's not what you want. So the solution is that they use a custom with the wildcard at the end of the word. So you receive the warning when the forbidden term was used, no warning when it's just a suffix. And the information about the forbidden term was put under comment. So in conclusion, we can say that it works. There are some pain, but we receive translation which is more consistent, and for us it's been better. So we are happy. The translator doesn't have to search long for very technical terms, which we have a lot. So they're happy too. Our reviewer, who often also take care of customer service, by defining the term, they can decide how a product name was translated in their region or their market, so they're also happy. That was the happy ending of my presentation.
Thank you very much. Questions? Try that side.
Hey, so we basically use the same process at our end, and it's lovely. But I would like to know how the translators actually, what feedback they gave, because we made the experience that the translators were not very happy doing this.
We tried 2 big projects with that, and I did receive some proposal about terminologies, like if you have product name, you write it in a capital letter or something like that, and someone said that no, it's not grammatically correct. And I have to check with our reviewer. They say, okay, we can write the same thing, then we applied it. Because the discussion about the language is endless, right? Then you must choose to trust someone.
And who enters the pipes and asterisks to the term-based and translators?
We, the translator related,
okay.
yes.
Okay, good, thanks.
Thank you.
Hi. As we are colleagues, and I'm our terminologist, and we also use QTerm and memoQ. So I was just wondering, if you have QTerm already, why did you start with the memoQ database and not with the QTerm?
I'm another terminologist, so if...
So you're still learning, and you start with the...
we have QTerm, and we know that QTerm will work, but like I said before, every software, we are a medical device company, so every software must be validated. And we would like to agree between us how to use it, which process, and something like that. And I do not touch it before it's defined.
Just to let you know, there's a button in QTerm where you can click convert. Maybe that's helpful for you.
Yeah, we're going to
So then,
test
yeah.
more than use it in the very near future.
Okay.
And I know that some companies just bought memoQ and don't have QTerm, so I think maybe not very bad. You can use Term-based too. No problem with that.
More questions?
Have you decided on your on the structure of your term entries for QTerm yet?
Yes, we have to. And that's why it takes time.
Okay. And how do you plan to actually transfer the data?
Yes, this is the goal, as I said. We were just collecting the term right now for the ongoing projects. We would need somehow, because the term is there, then we just would like to use it. But the goal is really at the end, when the QTerm is ready, to move everything there, and everything must be done. With the QTerm.
No, I know the problem from transferring legacy data to QTerm.
I think when you transfer, our term is not so big. I cannot tell for everyone. But we did test, and it was quite good. But I don't know. Our idea is just to collect the term, but when the QTerm is ready, move everything there, and from that moment on, just work with the QTerm and not jump like what when it was with. So it will be very complicated. Yeah.
Thank you. More questions? There's one question from Shandor.
Lunch is ready, right?
I suppose it's to do with some kind of culinary information. I'm just happy to let you know, first of all, thank you very much for the presentation. And if you don't mind, I would like to ask you for an applause for this presentation. First.